Hey everyone, glad to be with you again, just to give you our weekly updates and the devotional for you today, which I'm liking the devotional today because I need to speak it to myself. So,
Good.
What's going on in the Snavely? I heard you got an egg.
Got an egg.
Have you got any more eggs?
It's tiny. Yeah. They're like little tiny baby
starve.
Eggs. Yeah, we need
You
5
got more?
more.
Have you got more?
We have 2. We got 2 more. So we had 3 this past week.
Nice.
But they're all small and they don't know what they're doing yet. And so they'll lay them just out in the middle of the coop, and then the other birds will walk on them and smash them. So 2 of the 3 have been smashed. So anyways, I got some learning to do about how to be a chicken.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
At least you got some.
We got some
coming.
finally. Yeah. What about you? What's
So
going on with Gerace?
Going on with the Gerace is what we're going to do next week. I don't know why we're doing this. So just smack me right now. We're going to try to tent camp
I love it.
for a couple days.
Keyword
And
try.
No electric.
Yes.
We're going with the Van Leeuwens,
Love it.
which they don't know how to camp either. So this is. There may be an incident down in Keuka State Park.
But no phone
next
reception,
week.
so no one will know.
Yeah, the kids can't. Yeah, they're going to run out of power. It could be a coup. If you see a bunch of kids thumbing from Keuka State Park back to Rochester, it's probably our kids.
It's all your kids.
That they're done after 5 hours there, or 2 hours, whatever.
I think you guys should do a video of your whole documentary, vlog, as they say, of your camping experience.
Yeah, so I don't know what
See
we're
how it
thinking.
plays out.
I don't know what we are thinking, but we're going to try it.
I'm ready.
We should have some fun stories for you when we get back.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's what's going on. So we wanted to bring you a word today, devotional from Psalms 46. Brandon, would you read verses 1 through 4 in Psalms 146? I love this psalm. I think what it speaks to me is how sovereign God is and how He's in control over all that goes on around us. And I think this is a good reminder for us that God is ultimately in control.
Absolutely.
So if you could read those first 4 verses.
God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear. Though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells.
So there you see where, in the psalm, we're seeing that God is our refuge and our strength and an ever-present help in trouble. So we know He's always there. So God is not saying we're not going to go through trouble.
Right.
Or there's not going to be difficulty around us, and our circumstances aren't going to be difficult. But there's someone we can run to. Mm-hmm. And there's something in here that I like in these verses. In verse 4, it says, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God. And the streams there represent God's grace, where you look to the temple of God. God is still on Mount Zion. God is still there. He hasn't moved. And there's grace that flows from God's throne unto us. And obviously, if we fast forward that, we can fast forward that to the person of Christ, who is that Prince of Peace for us. And we were talking about this earlier. You mentioned, John 14. And what was the circumstances in John?
Yeah, so John 14:1, right away, Jesus says, don't let your hearts be troubled. Right? Jesus had just told his disciples in the previous chapter that he was leaving to be with the Father, right? And the disciples in there understandably are shaken that Jesus is leaving, right? Who they've spent the last 3 years with and put all their hope in him, and now he's leaving, right? So he tells them in John 14, don't let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. Yeah. So he's taking them back to where their hope needs to be when they feel like everything is being shaken, what they know.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I like what the psalm says here in verse 10. It goes on to say, with all that of things that may go on around you, we have a God that we can turn to. He is our strength. He is sovereign. And then it says in verse 10, be still and know that I am God, and I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. And so what does it mean to be still before the Lord? So I was thinking about this the other day. I was outside because I was looking at the Pierced meter showers.
Okay, yeah.
And I've got those high-powered binoculars. So I was just out. There was a beautiful warm breeze blowing, and so I'm just out there looking for the meteor showers and looking at Jupiter again through my high-powered binoculars that I got for Father's Day. But I just stopped for a moment, and you just think, this is where God's saying, just stop and be still and recognize what I've created. I've got everything I've got everything in control. And so what the psalm is telling us is just to stop and recognize who God is, that He is on His throne. There are streams that flow from Him, those streams of grace, that He's given us His Son, that we can turn to Him, we can worship Him, we can find our peace in the Lord, and that He comforts us. And boy, do we need to hear that, today. So I think we just need to stop and just chill and be still and recognize who God is and allow the awesomeness of God to fill our hearts instead of all the turmoil that's around us. Because I know for me, it's much easier. You watch 5 minutes of the news and you think the whole world is going to end tomorrow. and you can feel that fear begin to grip your heart again. Where instead I need to stop and recognize, in that moment I'm looking up at the stars and the planets and the meteor showers. It just caught me like, wow, God created all this.
That's good.
And if He created all this, and how majestic He is, He's got everything under control. And just in that moment, I just said, God, just still my heart. Just give me your peace. And we have that in the person of Christ Jesus.
It's good.
So I don't know how you deal with it, Brandon, but
a lot of times I don't. That the concept of rest is foreign to many of us in a fast-paced life, right? Or so this idea of being still. And many people talk about rest or relaxation and getting away, so to speak. What we're centering, I think, at least some on today, is to rest and look also to God. So you can't just rest here and then not meditate on who God is. But I think that's the important part of it here, is that we're looking back to, like you said, who God is in the situation and finding our rest in Him as well. So. That's good. So just for those of you who are just feeling overwhelmed with everything right now, just be still and know that God is God. Just be still and meditate on His grandeur, meditate on His majesty, meditate on who Christ is and what He did for us, and let that still your heart with everything else that's going around us. It didn't take God by surprise. No. He's well aware of it all, and He's using it to allow us to have a greater trust in Him. So be still and rest in that. So hopefully that spoke to you today. I know it spoke to me when I read that verse, and I'm praying that does the same for you. So we wanted to give you an update on what's going on this week at church. Right now, the weather looks good. So we will have our outdoor service at 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
And it was fun last week. And we obviously we'll continue to stream. And then we're real excited about the Convoy of Hope outreach that's going to be happening.
It's coming quick. Less than what, 2 weeks now? So really looking forward to serving our community that day. So we'll be able to serve about 500 families as they come through. And thank you for everyone that signed up to help. We got a lot of great volunteers that day, and really looking forward to it. So
please keep that in your prayers. And we're just really excited to be able to reach out to our community that way and be able just to serve our community in that manner. So we're excited. So that's all we got for you today. So hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. If not, we will see you online. So God bless you guys.
See you, everyone.